Hello everyone, welcome back. Doing something a bit different today than guitars because I'm talking about this. This is the Focus Fuzz from Great Eastern Effects, and it is it's awesome. It's awesome. That's what I'm going to say. I've got a confession now. If you've seen any of my Instagram posts which have had my pedal board in over the last few months, you might have noticed that there's always been something kind of greyed out or something weird balanced on top of one of my pedals, and that's because I've had this, which is the prototype. I've been lucky enough to have this on my board for a few months, so to get a production one as well is just fantastic. The reason I had the production one on my board is because Dave from Great Eastern Effects came round to my house so I could try out a bunch of pedals. And then I wouldn't let him take it, basically, because it was so good. And this production run is just as good, if not kind of even better. So let's talk about it a little bit. So I love fuzz, but I haven't had a great history with, you know, like traditional fuzz pedals. I've owned quite a few. I've owned kind of a couple of classics. I had a 70s tone bender and something else, and they sounded brilliant in certain situations and like on their own, but they would really suffer when I'd start playing them with a band or something, and they'd like disappear into the mix, or you'd only hear like the horrible kind of high frequency stuff that they were doing, and so I just ended up just stopping using them really for ages, until the Focus Fuzz came along, because it's like a laser beam. It can be, if you want to cut through a mix live. You know, I've got a 6-piece band, so that's 2 guitars, keyboards, bass, drums, and percussion. And it's just not a fair fight having this on stage, because you can just cut through anything, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant in a whole range of usable ways. I'm going to talk about it in a bit more kind of detail, without kind of just going on about how good it is now, because it's great, and you can do a lot more with it than you can do with a traditional fuzz. So in that thing I was doing at the start, I started off, and we'll start with this, the fuzz all the way down and the focus all the way off. And that, to my ears, is closer to like an old school distortion sound. So this is, tell you what, this is my clean, I say clean, it's not entirely clean, but this is how I generally run my amp. Oh, turn this down. The amp is a Hamstead Artist Plus 20 plus RT. And I'm going through I've got my looper here that I was using for the intro. Apart from that, it's just the Focus Fuzz. So that's my clean sound anyway. I'm going to turn it on now with the fuzz and the focus turned down to the lowest setting. So so it's just a great, I'll turn my reverb down a touch. Just a great kind of like overdrive distortion sound. Nice and loose, kind of. So it's got like a little bit of fuzz at the top, but it's just kind of like a nice dirty rhythm sound. But with that, what I'm going to do is try and hold a chord. It's going to be an E-7 chord because I don't need to use my left hand for that. And then I'm going to turn the focus control up and see what that does. Because it's really hard to describe, it's much easier to just hear it. So here we go. So it's doing like some tone stuff. I'm not going to try and explain how it works. I know it's got old germanium transistors in it. I know it's got some silicon transistors in it. I know it sounds good. Let me just see. I'm going to try playing some stuff and see what that focus pedal does. Focus knob, sorry, not the pedal. So here we go with the focus all the way off, and then I'm going to turn it up and see how it sounds. All the way up. And that's like that is literally that's the thing when you're playing live in a band. The focus knob is the thing that goes for that just lets you cut through. It's like a chainsaw. And bear in mind that's still with the fuzz down at the minimum setting, right? It does that kind of it's a bit nasally in a good way, like good fuzzes are, and then for my money, a lot of kind of great fuzz sounds are the ones. I'm a sucker for stuff from the 60s and the early 70s. Albums like Electric Mud by Muddy Waters, if you've not heard that, that's got some super out there fuzz sounds on it, and it's that kind of, it's like, well, basically bridge pickup, tone all the way off, and then you know, it's that. So and I just love it, and this pedal does this wonderfully. So try playing with the fuzz up a little more. Let's turn that focus down and the fuzz up to just kind of halfway. It's a big sound. It's a big rocking sound, isn't it? I'm going to turn the focus up here. Play again, so. So I'm just backing off my volume control there to do that on the guitar. I mean, the thing I love about this pedal and the small speaker overdrive and the dialer drive is that there's just not a bad sound in it. Like, I'm trying to, show a range of what it can do, but to be honest, you just put those knobs anywhere and it'll sound great. Let's try turning the focus up, a bit more fuzz. But I tell you what, focus down and fuzz all the way up. Let's see what that sounds like. Sounds awesome. I mean, I'm going to focus. I mean, it's just so cool. Focus all the way up, fuzz all the way up. Let's see. Turn the level down there, turn that back up. So yeah, it gets that kind of feedbacky octave. Oh, it just, I mean, this is a terrible review video because I just really like this pedal. I just really like it. As I say, I've had the prototype for ages. If anything, this sounds like even better. I've had this is, you know, it just sounds great. It's very versatile, much more versatile than a, you know, classic old kind of noisy thing that you can only work between a set range of temperatures or something. You know, it needs a specialist power supply that only works on the first full moon of the January or something. You know what I mean. This thing is a bomb-proof, excellent fuzz pedal that does all sorts of good fuzzy stuff and more. And just, you know, just for fun, I'm gonna play a baritone on it because I love fuzz baritone. So this is just for no real reason other than I've got my baritone sat here. Oh, I suppose if I was doing a proper video, this would be to say, oh, because it takes humbuckers. Well, it just sounds great with everything. Don't worry about what pickups you're using, but listen to this. Okay, let's turn the focus and the fuzz down a bit because this guitar is a lot higher output than that one. All right, let's start at 12. Little reminder of my my clean sound. Should we see what it sounds like on bass? Everyone likes fuzz bass, right? Yeah, why not? Okay. I'm back. I'm back with the bass. Very unscientifically, I'm still running it through the Hampstead because I do that a lot actually for recording because it sounds killer. See what it sounds like with fuzz. That sounds great. Right, so in summary, I love this pedal. It sounds killer. It works on everything. Let's do some stuff.